Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.
Hello friends, and welcome to Fairfield Today. Paul Jackson with you. Thank you for joining us as we begin our telecast downtown. Beautiful day in Lancaster and pretty much throughout all Fairfield County. We're moving, of course, into springtime, and for our purposes on this segment, springtime equals baseball. We've got the Beavers Field contingent here, the one we always talk to, and then we have an additional person to chat with today. Please allow me to introduce on my far right, Al Beavers, who of course we've talked to for many years over this, and we always talk about the games are just starting about now, going on. It's Beavers Field, but now we have the boss with us today. This is Phyllis Pence Beavers. Full disclosure, I've known Phyllis for a few years, being a high school classmate of mine back in Lancaster. We won't say the year because that would date it, but it's been a few. Not as many as it has been for Al, but it's been a few. Al and Phyllis Beavers, Beavers Field. Al, it's getting ready to go. We've had snow recently. You've already had games, and here we are.
Yeah, we are. I've had 10 games, nine college games, one high school scrimmage. And then yesterday and today and tomorrow are supposed to be off days. And then we got 7 games this weekend, high school and college games. So it's really taken off, and we don't shovel snow for baseball. That's one rule I have.
There aren't many rules. Pretty much baseball and off days. That's an oxymoron, because there probably aren't many true off days once this hits. This is what, year 34 for Beavers Field?
This will be our 34th year playing on Beavers Field.
36 years altogether from the time you and Max and all the boys started working out there and moving dirt?
Jim Smelser moved dirt for a couple years for me, and started April 16th of 88 when we moved Brook Ground. And then we started playing on in 91, and here we are today, 30-some years later.
I mention this probably about every time you come on, but I can remember when that was just starting 36 years ago, and they were starting to move dirt, and the rumors were going around that's going to be a baseball field. You look at that, there's no way you could build it. I mean, it's a hill right there. They don't have room for a little league field, let alone a real baseball field. And now you see what's been built out there. It's unimaginable. The progress you've made in these 34 years, and the financial boon to the community, to Lancaster and Fairfield County. I would even begin a number, because 200 plus games, 250 this year, did you say?
Well, probably around 250. We played 226 last year.
Yeah, and people come in and stay, and they're here for sometimes overnight and do things for a couple days here. It's unbelievable, but is this kind of how you envisioned when you were thinking about this 34, or is this way more than you ever thought? Now the grandson's involved with Beavers Dam.
Well, yeah, now that we've become a true complex with addition to the Beavers Dam and stuff, there's no way in the world we ever dreamed of anything like this.
Sure.
We've discussed it at the times that we've created a monster.
Be careful what you wish for. Is that where we are?
We just originally planned on having a baseball field to play Legion baseball on, which I coached at the time.
Yeah.
And but each year it just kind of expands, and now that my grandson's taken over with the Beavers Dam, the indoor facility, he's expanded it tenfold from what I even imagined that we could do. And I'm glad we got a descendant of our family that's going to be handling the rest of it.
That takes a load off you, I'm sure thinking about that. Now, over the years, things have progressed. Again, Beavers Dam, and new lights up now. Are they working out well?
Very good.
Very good. Got new lights. Last time we talked, that was just going up, and it's a fabulous facility. Just the turf and everything is unimaginable how nice it is out there, and I hope everyone has gone to games out there, because it is just a beautiful facility. But one of the things that you've progressed and added is the food service from out there.
Yeah.
And we have the queen of the food service here, Phyllis, with us. And Phyllis, did you ever think that this is what your retirement would look like?
Not at all.
It is really now that's a full-time job out there now,
It is.
right?
It is.
And your menu is expanded. You get a little more all the time out there. I've had the bologna sandwich. It's wonderful out there. Everything, and you look at the prices; they're more than reasonable. You've been able to keep that down.
We try to.
I think that means a lot in a community that you can go out there and spend 3 or 4 hours out there watching a game or two, and I'm sure the intent is to keep that for a family.
Yes, it is.
And you've accomplished that.
Well, we try to make it family-oriented and spectator-friendly with the grandstands and everything we have there. And it's just, it's a nice place, especially in June and July evenings and stuff. When it's not quite this cold, it's out there and you come out and we have people come in to visit Phyllis's Home Plate and take the food home and eat it. So,
Sure. Is the menu, is that kind of fallen on you? Have you kind of developed that over the years and
Yeah.
increased that?
Yeah.
Al stayed out of that?
Yeah, he pretty much stayed out of that.
That's a good call. Good call. You let him stick to baseball, your grandson
The only
stick to
thing is
baseball.
the bologna is what he.
Well, that was a good call there on your part. I will give you credit for that.
We have to blame that on Chris and Joe Moody. Chris Moody
Well.
was the one suggested they should have that, and boy, it's a hit.
Yeah, well, and it is good. So good for Joe and Chris to do that. So really, I mean, you do sandwiches. Is it pizza too?
No.
No pizza.
At one time we had pizza.
That's what I'm thinking
But-
of. Pretty much just sandwiches now and,
Yeah.
and beverages, a few beverages out there, and
Yeah.
just a good time for the whole family to come out there and enjoy that. How many are you out there for every game?
Yes.
Wow.
I have missed very few games.
Yeah. 250 games now being going on this year, and now you do what, high schools, and you do a lot of colleges and universities. I mean, really anybody almost in the state has played here.
Yeah, and now we get them from out of state. I know Chatham University, Nick Rush, the coach there, runs a 726 travel tournament and a showcase at our field the last 3 years, and he's had this scheduled for 2 years. He actually played Bluffton University, which happens to be the Beavers. And so they got to play, the Beavers got to play on the Beavers Field Saturday.
Is that a first, you think?
Yes.
No other team, as far as you remember.
Not that I know of, it's called Beavers, played on there. And sometimes they call this our post 11 team the Beavers.
Yeah, they do.
Last couple of years.
Well.
But no, we had a big crowd there Saturday, and then we had Hockin College playing Wright State Lake on Sunday as a doubleheader, and she did very well in the concession stand, especially the Chatham University team ate hamburgers. She had to have hamburgers, hot dogs, and chips for them to put on the bus to take back.
45 hamburgers, 45 hot dogs.
Oh, man.
And that was after being open for a doubleheader at the concession stand.
These young people can eat.
Oh,
Yes.
my golly. Well, these teams, the college teams, they had a table set up behind the dugout with big jars of peanut butter and jelly and bread that they would eat during the game.
Got to keep your energy up.
But the college teams, they have anywhere from 40 to 45 players on each team. Where in high schools, they usually about 20 players and things like that. But as far as the schedule goes, the real high school season kicks in this Saturday, the regular season game. Vernon Union has a doubleheader there, and then we have a Ohio State Club Baseball single game after them. And then we got Ohio State Club Baseball doubleheader on Sunday. And then the high school, we got Fairfield Christian and Newark Catholic playing on Monday night. Start the high school weekly season.
So as far as you're concerned, this change in the schedule a while back, that's wonderful for you.
Yes.
I mean, you're able to go. What's the most games you've ever played in one day? 4?
6.
6.
Yeah.
What, you start about 8 in the morning?
Yep.
I mean,
8 in the morning. The last game scheduled.
It was 8 in the
at
morning?
9. Yep.
Yeah.
That's unreal. It just how this has grown out there, and just a beautiful setting out there, and Lancaster High School's there. Ohio University's right there. I mean, now Lancaster's probably moving away a little bit. They probably have their facilities there where Thomas Ewing on the corner there.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So it's not like you'll be hurting for.
No,
not at all.
Actually, we increased by 30-some games last year, and we actually have Logan Elm scheduled a couple games this year. They're playing Hamilton Township one week, and the next week they're playing Tays Valley. on a play under the lights. So they wanted to
Nice.
play a high school game under the lights.
Has that worked out well? You think that light's been a tremendous addition?
Oh, it has, and I don't have to run up the hill to turn them on. I got buttons in the press box. I can just go over there and press
Nice.
that. And
Nice.
we insulated and remodeled the press box, and I got a heater in there, so when it gets cold, but
Announcers can be pretty whiny. I
Yeah.
remember those days. It can be pretty cold when you're doing baseball games at Easter. Good Friday games, I can remember how cold those games
Yeah.
could be.
But-
Not under any shelter either.
and you mentioned there is the month of April. We have 6 off days that we don't have games
And are true off days?
most of the time.
Sometimes.
Most, okay.
Well, sometimes in the off days we have to go Sam's Club and GFS to restock the concession tent.
Let's mention your grandson. We got a couple minutes here. Beaver Dam out there. This is as you called it, it's a complex now. It's just not a baseball field. It's a complex. What a tremendous indoor facility that he's developed out there.
Yeah, it has exploded in attendance. The gym in front, he has gym memberships there and a weight room in front. And we had 7 different coaches and personal trainers and stuff this last year that we had to issue 1099 for and things. And he has developed that into something. It's rented out every Saturday and Sunday for the last 2 years. He's had high school teams, even college teams come in and work out over the winter and stuff. But he gives lessons. It's like today, he's booked up from 3 o'clock to 8:30, every 15 minutes or every half hour for lessons. And J.D. Burrell is another personal trainer and was a teammate of him in college. But it has exploded in that, and it's just one of the things that we never even thought of.
I can remember when you had that kind of energy and you did all those things all day, but now you've been able to pass that along.
Well, yeah, except for mowing. Sunday after that doubleheader, it was 44 degrees, and I actually mowed the outfield before I come home.
Beavers Field, Beavers Home Plate. Go there and get some good food, good things going on there. Done a tremendous job. Thank you both for, golly, it's been a tremendous addition to Lancaster and Fairfield County. It's done so much.
And I got to give her a lot of credit for hanging with me and supporting me and the whole family in there.
How many years you been married now?
Be 59.
In June, it'll be
in June.
59.
Well, I lost the office pool on that many years ago, I can tell you that. 59 years, I had no idea that, my golly, Phyllis, what are you doing here? You can do better, come on. No, we're just kidding. They're great folks, and Lancaster people, Lancaster natives, done a great job out there. Thanks for all you do. Good luck. Have a wonderful summer.
Okay,
Thank you.
Phyllis and Al Beavers, Beavers Field. Get out there and see some games and have some good food at Phyllis's Home Plate. We'll be back in just a moment.
The reason why I do what I do is I love helping people, and I really love to work on understanding and striving to improve the lives of the people in our community. Being in Fairfield County is having a network of people around you.
I am driven by my belief that every individual deserves an opportunity to achieve mental and emotional balance, and I'm very passionate about contributing to that process.
Community, connections, collaboration. The Fairfield County Way.
The staff that have been here know what it takes. They've been on the other side. They see what it takes to make someone comfortable, to make the family comfortable, and really what kind of support they need. And so I think that's what really makes Fairhope what it is.
I want a doctor who listens to me.
From primary care to specialty medicine, we put your needs first by treating you like a person, not a number. Our primary care team will help you identify your healthcare needs and set goals for success, regardless of where you are in your wellness journey. We care for patients of all ages, with offices that are close to you. Whatever you're searching for, you can find it at Fairfield Medical Center.
Fairfield Federal. When it comes to our customers and our community, we go above and beyond to help. Our people make the difference. Personal or business banking, whatever you need, we take it seriously because we know you do. Stop by today at any of our 3 locations and see why the difference is clear. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We here at Fairfield DD wish you a happy new year. March is right around the corner, and with it comes Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. This year, Fairfield DD is excited to share that we will have a variety of events to mark this important month. Our 14th annual Celebration of Possibilities will be held on Wednesday, March 20th at 6 p.m. at the Wigwam Event Center in Pickerington. So save the date. Join our mailing list or follow our social media so you can stay up to date on all the happenings.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our 2 locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Hello friends, welcome back to Fairfield Today. Paul Jasson with you downtown. A beautiful day here in Lancaster, Fairfield County as we're taping in the lobby of Fairfield Federal. Pleasure to have on a couple folks here. We've kind of been through this process for a lot of years talking about Hank, and now all of a sudden you'll know what I'm talking about here when we talk about Hank. Hank's Law is coming into effect here. We're excited about that. And the young lady that's kind of made it her life's purpose to see that happens. We've come to a big moment in that. And one of the fellows in the legislature that's helped do that, we got a couple of good guests with us today. To my immediate right here is Amy Carpenter. Amy is Hank's mom.
Yep.
We can say that, Hank's mom. If you've been on the show, you know we've done a lot of Hank shows. We know the story, and we'll talk about some of that. Yeah. And then to my far right is our state senator, Tim Schaffer. Tim got into this
exactly
as a state senator because if you know anything about Amy, she is very single-minded on this, and she is very strong-willed, and she has pushed this through. And the perfect guy to handle this, and now it's coming into law, is State Senator Tim Schaffer. And first of all, Amy, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Big time for you now with all this going on. You have to be so excited.
We are. There's just so much good stuff going on.
Oh my!
Praise the Lord.
Oh my! And Tim got the legislature involved, and you made this happen. Again, having a local guy here, I think helps a lot. When you're a local person, you know the story. Tim's seen this for a lot of years. Yeah. Been a fun time and an exciting time to see this all happen.
It really has been. It's always great when you have a good cause to pass legislation for, and Amy truly was, I like to say she was the muscle behind the bill. I was just the vessel.
Yes.
But she's the one that did most of the work, and we got the witnesses. It was a great time.
Tell us what Hank's Law is.
Yeah. So Hank's Law will make July Sarcoma Awareness Month. So whenever you see a yellow ribbon, then people will be like, what is that? And whenever they see Hank's Law, they'll Google it, and they'll see the awareness about the signs of sarcoma in dogs and in people.
And so you saw the real need for this, and again, it was a good cause and something that really needed to be validated.
Absolutely. A lot of folks say, oh, it's just another naming bill like the other hundreds of them that we do. It's more than that. And Paul, you may remember, I started out in healthcare in my career, early in my career, healthcare advocacy. And when you have these naming months, or a week or a day, it's really important because it brings, and this is what Amy's living her life for, brings public awareness to the disease and the symptoms and the signs of it. She's going to save lives, and the governor is going to save lives having signed this bill in the long run by making people aware of the signs and symptoms of sarcoma.
And we'll put that up now. We've got the picture of Tim and Amy and the governor and some other people up there signing that. Again, what a magic moment for you to see this, all this work kind of come to a real head right here.
To a culmination, yeah. And you know what this guy did to me? So he called me. Well, first of all, he called, and I was busy walking a dog at the time. I was like, well, I'll call him later. And I thought I just have to go up and testify again. You know, we've been doing this for 5 years. Well, later that day, I was like, I got to call Tim back. So in the evening, I called him back, and I said, hey, did you need something? Do I need to go testify in a couple days? He's like, I know, I have some good news. And I said, you do? What? He goes, Hank's Law passed. I said, what? Are you serious?
You can't blow a state senator off.
Oh, I know.
You got to take
I was
these
just
calls.
like, oh my gosh. So then, it gets worse. So then, it passed and everything. And then he called me one day and he goes, hey, I've got some good news and some bad news. And I'm like, now what? They better not try to reverse this decision after all this work. I don't even know if that's possible. And he said, well, the bad news is we can't go to the State House and sign Hank's law. And I said, and now what? I played right into it. He goes, because we're going to the governor's mansion instead.
Boy, oh boy, this is big.
He had me going. He knows
Schaffer
how to push my buttons.
Senator Schaffer has juice.
He does.
He can get it done.
He does.
So the governor, he fit right into this, huh?
Yeah.
He did. And I was really glad to see the governor engaging with Amy and everybody else she brought. She had a whole army of folks there.
Sure.
A lot of the witnesses that were in committees with us. One victim who has of sarcoma, who has lived life wonderfully and overcome that disability now. Exactly. I mean, that was a great story. She brought a real good bunch of people to the bill signing that really educated the governor. And it was so cool. I mean, you guys were talking 20 minutes at least, you and the governor. So it was a really good opportunity to educate the top elected official in Ohio about this disease and what Amy and what the legislature now is doing to try and bring awareness and raise some money for it, for research.
Well, I've got Amy Carpenter and State Senator Tim Schaffer with us here and talk about Hank's Law, and what is that, July? July is Sarcoma Awareness Month.
Correct.
And we've got some pictures we could show about the governor being up there and some other things that you folks have done. But I got a picture from you yesterday that really surprised me when I was a young person, and I'm sure even when Tim was young around here. The Lincoln Levesque Tower was really the skyline. Once you got Columbus, you saw the Lincoln Levesque, but that was it. There were no other buildings, and now I think it's the second tallest building in Columbus. But it's got a big moment coming up for you.
Yeah. So for the past 5 years, actually probably longer than that, every time I drive into Columbus, like you said, it's the skyline, and I would look over and I would see that lit up. And I'm like, someday, when Senator Schaffer and I pass Hank's Law, that building's going to be lit up.
And it's coming.
And it's coming, yes. So the day of Hank's race, July 13th, they've agreed they're going to light up yellow in honor of Hank's Law.
That'll be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And Tim, you've kind of been through this and saw this come. This is really big for Amy and this whole cause, the sarcoma cause.
It really is. And like I told the governor, by signing that bill, he's going to save lives.
Yes.
And that's really important always to remember about these pieces of legislation. They're designed to save lives. Public awareness, research funding, which she's working really hard on.
Not just PR.
Not just PR. That's actually way down the list. It's the public awareness and the research funding. And the research funding is what helped get a lot of the scientists and the doctors so involved is they saw the positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
I know Hank is pleased.
Yeah.
Hopefully
he's looking down from heaven and happy.
I'm sure he is. If you would have ever known this many years ago that this is where it's gone, it's been a heck of a journey.
Yes, it has. Yeah.
And even though we can talk about that, and this is sort of an apex, this is a big moment, the signing of the law, the Lincoln Levesque Tower in July, a naming of a month. You've got other things going on, too. This isn't all you've got doing here.
Right. Well, we also have, I don't know if you saw it, Paul, but we also have the Dublin Link Bridge is going to be lit up, too.
Got a picture of that?
On July 1st. Yeah, so to start out our month, they're going to light up, and they're the longest S-shaped bridge in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
And Tim, your part in this has kind of been pushing this law, getting it to where it is now, and kind of shepherding it and getting it to the governor. It's taken place. But I'd have to think that over your years, and it's been many years now as a representative and as a senator here for Lancaster, Fairfield County, this has been a young lady that has been single-minded, and I think you pointed that out. She has really headed to this moment, and to come here now, it's got to be fulfilling.
You know, resilience is a really good word to use in the legislative world. You have to be resilient. You got to be always pressing for that goal. And Amy has certainly been resilient. Took us a few sessions to get this through because not everybody agreed with naming a month after a pet.
That's the perseverance part of this, though.
It really
makes it worth it.
Exactly.
And it took a good team effort for several years to convince the legislature.
Right.
This is a great cause. Look beyond the title, but it's a great cause. We want to save lives. That's the whole goal.
Right.
Well, it's remarkable, and I think the thing you pointed out before when we've just had you on about sarcoma, this is something that just started out to be kind of a dog issue, but now, as we've talked about saving lives, as the senator has said, this has certainly moved far bigger than just in the animal world.
Exactly. And you know, and we've talked before, Paul, that after I lost Hank, I went through a deep depression because he was more than a dog to me. He was like a mate, a best friend, a child that I never had. And so I had several counseling sessions with my counselor. And when I first started Hank's Foundation, she's like, Amy, this isn't just about canine cancer. This is about sarcoma in general. And this isn't just about sarcoma, it's about all cancers. You know, it's the evil we're all fighting, whether it's breast cancer, sarcoma, leukemia, lymphoma, you know, and so your mission is bigger than just Hank. Of course, you know, he is my mission, but to try to get me to see outside the box, that I need to be trying to help more people than just dogs. I mean, sarcoma happens to kids, second most common to dogs, and they're my second love, you know, as a teacher. I love children. And so, you know, we need to get the awareness out not only for dogs, but also for children. And adults get it, but it's just, you know, more rare because it's mostly in dogs and children.
Well, the law coming into session here, that's going on, and we had the picture up about that with the governor and Senator Schaffer and you and your friends up there and people involved in that. It's been quite a project to get to this point. So July now is Sarcoma Awareness Month.
Yeah.
July 13th, which will be Hank's race here at the fairgrounds, and that'll be the day the Lincoln Levesque Tower is lit up yellow for that. So, golly, what a summer you've got ahead of you.
Exactly. We also have our upcoming calendar, which will be released at the race, but I haven't given out the theme yet.
We haven't heard that. Well, we'll be surprised when we have you back on to talk about that. And we got Tim here. While we got we got a couple minutes here to talk about this. Even though this is uppermost on our mind now, you've still got a bit of legislative session going on.
Yeah, we have a lot of bills we have been working on and still working on. The biggest one probably is our latest anti-corruption, anti-fraud bill.
That's big.
We did with Keith Faber, our state auditor, and we just had that signed recently by the governor as well. That legislation is going to make sure, I mean, we got a lot of great state and local public servants, elected officials, the people they hire. They do great work for us. They do awesome work for us, especially on a snowy morning when we don't want to go through a foot of snow. And they're out there. They've been out there all night. They do awesome work. But it only takes 1 in 100 or 1 in 1,000, one bad apple in the bushel to make everybody look bad. And so this bill is going to encourage people to, if they see something, say something. And one bus that the state auditor's office led, they had a trustee, a township fiscal officer actually in southern Ohio, was ordering stuff all over the globe, having it shipped in for his personal use. Hundreds of thousands of dollars on the township credit card. So it's things like that, you know, if somebody had come forward earlier, we could have stopped the hemorrhaging. But he's now in prison. And he's going to try and pay it back, but it'll be years or decades.
Good luck with that.
Exactly. Good luck with that. But at least we stopped it.
Sure.
We stopped the bleeding. And that's the point of the bill, is to make sure that those things don't happen, or at least they stop immediately and we can get them addressed.
And again, as we were with Clarence Miller when he was living here, and he was our representative in Washington, to have Tim Schaffer, state senator here in Lancaster, it's just a fortunate current events. And with now in a beautiful yellow dress here to accommodate Hank's Law. Congratulations to you both.
So much.
I mean, you
Thank
both
you.
shepherded this, and you pushed it for many years. I know, Tim, you've been involved. And July is going to be a big month. We're looking forward to that. We'll look forward to the tower, to Hank's race.
Yes.
We'll have you back on. Talk about the calendar here in the future. So just big kudos to what you've both been able to get done. And like you say, it's not only a great bill for that, and you pushed that, but it is saving lives, and it's a good thing.
And I can't just say enough. It would never have happened with Senator Schaffer.
Absolutely.
He was.
Well, I was proud to do
wonderful.
it, but it took a resilient citizen to come back and back and back and get this thing done.
Resiliency could be her middle name. That's
Or stubborn.
Well, maybe that too. Single-minded.
Resilience
We'll say
sounds a
that.
little nicer.
Amy Carpenter, Senator Tim Schaffer with us. Congratulations on just a wonderful turn of events here, and we're looking forward to July and just see what all that brings.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you both
Thank you
for being
having
with
us.
us. Sure.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on Fairfield Today.
Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.